He is the son of two other great APBT influencers. Crenshaw's Honey Bunch ROM champion, and Finley's Beau ROM champion. The Jeep became a great fighter, and one of the greatest fighting dog breeders of all time. Some enthusiasts argue that Jeep is the only value. It is their ability to produce winning and champion dogs. While others argue that his legendary 3-hour 45-minute bout over champion Homer has proven his mettle in combat. Throughout history, American Pit Bull Terrier dogs fight. No dog made as much of an impact as Garrett Jeep's champion. This is the combination, not only of its value as a supreme fighting dog, but of the ultimate breeding quality. Jeep was created by James Crenshaw. He was sold to James Garrett when he was a young dog. He was promoted and brought to prominence by James Garrett and assisted by James Crenshaw. Jeep claimed its fourth win over Ozzie Stevens' champion, the Homer. That fight made history, as the caliber of these two dogs that would meet in the ring is unusual in itself. Although champion Jeep and winner Homer have proven to be great fighting dogs, the two really have merit, the legacy they have conquered through this match. Now that the Jeep's formidable value has been established, let's move on to the highest quality this dog has ever possessed. That was his ability to reproduce an impressive amount of champions. One of them being Grand Champion and several other winners of once, or twice. The talk at many conventions always leads to great dogs. And the dispute over which lineage is the best. And which brings the highest percentage of dogs game. And winning dogs. I have often heard statements being passed around and the Jeep name is mentioned. For being a high figure in the ROM list. They say the amount of bitches that the Jeep crossed, to be able to create the amount of champions that it generated. And my answer to those dogmans is: take 3 great fighting dogs, which are of exceptional bloodlines. STP's Grand Champion Buck, 6-time winner. STP's Champion Toro and Burton's Grand Champion Hank. Since all 3 were considered exceptional fighting dogs. And many used these 3 different bloods. And whoever used it was for the sole purpose of producing, or establishing new bloodlines from them. All 3 lived to nearly the same age, approximately 10 years. The 2 campaigned at roughly the same time, and died around the same time, i.e. Bull Champion and Grand Champion Hank. Hank made his history in the fight before his but was crossed as many times as the Jeep. That if it wasn't anymore. The Grand Champion Buck probably loses to Hank in number of sires. And Toro, who was also crossed with 23 different bitches, during this period. The fact is, all 3 of these big dogs together produced about half the number of champions that the Jeep produced. It was common, a common-sense dogman will tell you how many champions. In souvenirs, dogs like Champion Homer, Grand Champion Art and Tombstone. They were bred in limited numbers of times, and were still able to produce high-quality dogs. They must also be considered. Certain dogs must be on the ROM list. Considering the number of times they were crossed. Examples: Jeep, Buck, Yellow, Frisco and Mayday to name a few. Some of the crossovers that are well known where the Jeep has created some great dogs. Where blood seems to mix best are Jeep with Red Boy and Jeep with Rascal. Champion Jeep was born in August 1976. He was born in James Crenshaw's backyard. In the famous litter of male Finley's Champion Beau ROM, with female Crenshaw's Champion Honey Bunch ROM. This spawn produced 4 champions. The most famous of the 4 was Champion Jeep ROM. But there was also Crenshaw's champion, Super Nat. Charlie, who is said to have been a better dog than the Jeep. Champion Missy, who is seen in many pedigrees today. And Sweatman's Champion Holly, who was said to be a terrible biter with a lot of skill. This was a large litter that was done once, for reasons I don't know. James Crenshaw has publicly stated that he never personally liked Jeep styling. Since Jeep was never a finisher, that's in his eyes. However, this severely contradicts itself. For Crenshaw's creation was based on these bloodlines. Since they were mainly from Jeep. And from crosses he made with Champion Rascal, most of the time. And when he was already old. He was well known for using Jeep dogs with Red Boy. Champion Jeep is considered by many to be one of the best fighting dogs of his time. Champion Garrett Jeep ROM, he defeated Pylon's Champion Kato, weighing in at 43 pounds in 28 minutes. Cooper's Weenie was also beaten at 43 pounds, in 58 minutes. Stinson Stepp's Black Dog, who was considered a three-time winner, at 42 pounds, was defeated in 2 hours and 5 minutes. And for his fourth and final match, we went to Ozzie Stevens' Champion, the famous Homer. Weighing in at 43 pounds, he won in 3 hours and 45 minutes. This was one of those classic fights that history is made of. Two big dogs of game met, and only one could win. One created a legacy and the other a dynasty. Garrett's Champion Jeep ROM died in the fall of 1989. James Crenshaw is one of the legendary dogmen. Each dogman had his own preference in how his dogs fought. The conditioning and grooming of their dogs and the attributes they were looking for in future dogs that were added to his backyard. James Crenshaw's keeping, or conditioning for a fight, will be shared in the next video. My name is Rodolpho Luiz, and I invite everyone to enjoy the knowledge of this wonderful breed. Sign up so you don't miss the next video. God bless you all. I went.